Wow, that's a wall-to-wall highlighter right there. Hello everyone, Anna here. The makeup I'm going to do today is inspired by a woman who has had a great impact on my life, and her name is Nagy, my grandmother.
My name is Nagy.
Yes, we share the same name. In fact, I was named after her. And that includes my last name, Fekete, which means black in the Hungarian language. It was her maiden name. Grandma Anna was born and raised in the Hungarian country.
I born Hungarian country.
She lived in wine country.
I born in one country and I have lots of friends, and sometimes we go out and drink, and we walking home and somebody had talk, they said, "Fuck you!" Because we so innocent and drunk. And nighttime how we very thirsty. We not drink water, it's just wash our feet. Take a big jug and just drink our beautiful wine.
Grandma Anna had 4 children.
I have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls.
One of them being my dad, who was born in Austria, you know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They moved to America.
And I love United States of America.
When my dad was really young, he came here not knowing a spit of English, nor my grandmother. She actually learned English watching soap operas.
Well, I'm still learning.
Which I think is really cool. Yeah.
Well, first thing I want to learn a language. So we have a nice party, lots of American people, and my mouth is itchy. And you know, Hungarian is how itchy is means, you know, and the mouth is kissed. And I said, I tell my cousin, you know what? Yeah, I have itchy pussy. Because I think it's outside. Mouth is itchy, somebody give me a kiss. So that's the language. And so my cousin said, Anna, a pussy is here. I said, oh, thank you very much, Anna, I know.
They eventually moved to Las Vegas, where I was born and raised and currently still live. Yeah, she got a job at the Green Shack making $1 an hour. She loved to bring that up on occasion, like, can you believe I made $1 an hour? $1 an hour! Yes, yes, yes. You could live off $1 an hour, but also everything was at lower prices then. So this is how it works. Money gets higher and higher, but it doesn't feel like anything really changes. Grandma had always cooked batches and batches of Hungarian food. We would eat like frizzle-egg, langos, goulash, palacinta, my favorite, lecho. Yeah, so yummy. Everybody went to Grandma's house for Thanksgiving. Grandma would make 2 turkeys, Hungarian dishes on the side. We called this like spinach, like sour cream kind of situation. We would dip our turkey in it, but we would call it green stuff because to this day, I don't know how to pronounce what that stuff is. So my favorite is lecho. It's pretty much like a goulash, but it has sausage in it. That bronzing stick from Gothic Hippies is, look at that. I have to be all bronze because Grandma is, you know, she's a tan girl, she's Hungarian. So our last name actually descends from dark hair, dark eyes, dark skin. So let's play that up here with my light skin. I need to go see the sun. So Grandma always loved to be out and about. Never in her life had Grandma ever had a driver's license. She literally had walked everywhere, always. So that's just showing you what a healthy woman she really is. I mean, she's 90 today. She was born in 1934. Isn't that so cool? But she said the real reason why she didn't drive was because my grandpa would teach her and he was very impatient and road rageous. Grandma, like most of the older generation in Las Vegas, love to gamble. So Grandma liked to gamble a lot. She would play like penny slots and whatnot though, and it was just to kind of go out and have some fun. And of course, I mean, grandma loved money, so like if she could win some money, that would be great. But then, you know, I don't know, it would just always be backed to the casinos for fun. Going over there, spending the night, like that's kind of what we did for fun. We would play board games, but there would be like pennies and just like change involved as a pot to win at the end of like the rounds. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun gambling with grandma. One thing that'll always stick is the garden that grandma had. The garden that grandma had was purely magical. Grandma planted anything that she just loved, and not because it had to go together, but just because she loved it and wanted it there. So you would literally have rose bushes, which were her favorite flower ever. Rose bushes all on like the left-hand side if you were facing out towards the street, and then would go straight into cactuses. And then it would be like just miscellaneous other flowers that she just wanted to have in the yard. And then you'd go over to the right-hand side because it was like a square, you know, that lined the fence. And there would be a pumpkin patch on the other end, which is awesome. I mean, I love fall, I love pumpkins, I love Halloween. So that was always super, super magical for me. It just gave me those happy feels, especially during the holiday season. The holidays were some of my favorite childhood memories of being at grandma's house. Not only being at grandma's house, but going to her house made the world around you magical. It's a time when the whole family really got along and we're together a lot. And yeah, I just remember like another cute thing with my grandma's garden in the front yard. She had a giant tree in like the middle of everything, and she would deck it out with lights, and she was so proud of it because she would have neighbors coming by and just telling her how beautiful her yard is and how much they love to come and see the lights and her garden, and it just made her so happy. And as sweet and as innocent as that may all sound,
And guess what? I am so innocent now.
grandma wasn't afraid to be vulgar and like really tell you how she felt about something. Like she would let you know if you like hurt her feelings. She wasn't afraid to tell you that kind of stuff. Yeah, her favorite line that we all love so much is that she would say, "I'll step on your neck."
I tell him, go lay down on the floor, I'll step on your fucking neck.
And if she was like really mad at you and you were a guy, she would tell you she was gonna step on your dick. You guys, I just noticed something. Something really crazy. So you see my background here? Look at this. And look how there's roses and cactuses and wine. My grandma's from wine country. And the background here, that's crazy. I did not even mean to do that. That is absolutely insane. Wow, that just blew my mind right now. And some of the colors here, we've got wealth, we talked about the money, we have serenity, we talked about the garden, we have, let's see, memories, and we're talking about memories right now, blessings, we have blessings here, journey, abundance, healing, miracles, rebirth. I love my grandma. So back to, I'll step on your neck, I'll step on your deek. I love how she just like mispronounced like everything. I think it was one of the cutest things about my grandma. Like rotten was rotteny and curtain was curtainy and button was buttony. And she would just laugh. She would just laugh at everything. Everything was funny. Like, and that's what like all the boys in my family, especially as teenagers and now, they can just be vulgar and say whatever, and grandma thinks it's funny. Grandma thinks it's hilarious. The dirtier, the better, the more, the harder she would laugh. So I love stuff, those things about Grandma Anna. Like stuck-up people are never gonna know the sense of humor that goes along in our family that was passed down through grandma. And like I said, grandma does not take crap from anybody. She is not afraid to tell you exactly what it is, how it makes her feel, and she ain't gonna have no toxicity in her life. One time we were all over there, my siblings and I and a bunch of my cousins, and the neighborhood kids love to come over and hang out and play. We were about teenagers at that time, so it was just like I'm not even joking, probably like 10 to 20 teenagers would be coming over to grandma's house to like hang out with us, and things would get rough sometimes. Like the boys would want to wrestle because we were like really into like wrestling back then. So many times grandma would have to tell everyone to, you know, lower it down, lower the noise, and these boys would just laugh at her because they just thought they can get away with anything at grandma's, because grandma was like really cool, you know. She was fun. She let people come over and hang out, and you know, people just wanted to take that for granted, and you know, like, you want to laugh at her? I don't think so. So what grandma did was that she grabbed a broom and started swinging and hitting knickknacks off of like the countertops and the shelves, and the boys just kind of was like and they just started running. They like fleed to the backyard with grandma chasing them with the broom, and she's like whacking it around, not hitting anybody of course, but they jumped to the back wall to get away from grandma and left the house. And my grandma lived in the neighborhood. She knew all their parents, so if they were like making her act that way, then they were down for it too. I don't think grandma would have cared either way though. She's very old-fashioned. I remember going over there and playing light as a feather, stiff as a board. Who remembers that? Oh my gosh. 41 years old here, guys, but we had the time of our life then. No cell phones, no nothing, just grandma's house. Grandma really loved the black and white film. She loved to watch westerns, and Cary Grant was her crush.
Sanity runs in my family. It practically gallops.
She would always make me come and sleep in her room with her, you know, so I wasn't out there with all the boys, which was safe. And she would always sing to me, Anna Panna, Anna Panna. I'll never forget that. And like I said, grandma was born in 1934. She is 50 years older than me. September 7th is her birthday, and she is 90 years old today's date. So she's lived such a remarkable life. And actually a few years back, she moved to North Carolina and with my cousin Frankie, who's been taking care of her for the last few years. Thank you, cousin Frankie, for all that you have been doing for grandma. So grandma's favorite thing, design, pattern to wear in the whole wide world is polka dots. Polka dots for grandma. She always says that polka dots are so elegant. As long as I have known grandma, she doesn't wear makeup. Like, the only thing that grandma will wear makeup wise is a nice, bold, red lipstick. Red is her favorite color, and what's so funny is it's my favorite color too. Red is just so beautiful, it's so classic, and it's just screams confidence. So this is the tricky part with this eyeliner that I have in mind to do. I want to get some polka dots on there. Yes! Grandma would absolutely love this. She would say, Anna, so beautiful. Grandma was also around during the Holocaust. Grandma's not Jewish. In fact, I think she was raised Catholic, because I remember my dad saying something about how he was raised Catholic. Cluster lashes. It was $10 on Amazon for this whole thing. So I love history, always loved history. So I thought it was like pretty neat to literally have someone in the family who has been there during that time, but to this day, it's hard to get grandma to talk about the time of the Holocaust. It was just too traumatic for her. All she does is she just starts crying if we even really bring it up. So that's like a chapter we just left alone. My entire 41 years of life, my grandmother has always had short white hair. I remember a few times she's tried to dye her hair and the dye doesn't hold. And it would just make her laugh hysterically. Grandma's laugh was so contagious. But I think it'd be really cool to have like white hair when my hair changes instead of gray. One day, I think that'd be pretty legendary. Ooh, eyes are so cute. I think I'm gonna try to use some of these lower lash ones. So I'll just dip it in the bond here. It's not sticking, nope. It just looks like one of my lashes though, it's not really doing much. It's just, yeah. Let me try that second row. Oh, I've never done them underneath. It's not happening. It's not happening. So my grandma has always just believed in like ghosts and hauntings. This is Gothic Hippies blush in Blowout. Yeah, grandma loved like telling stories of, you know, all these encounters she's had like with the paranormal, and we love sitting around the front yard on the big swinging swing and just listen to her stories all together and tell stories ourselves. I always thought grandma's just mouth was just so hilarious, like when she would just say these vulgar things. Like if any of the boys came out of the bathroom, she would be like, "Did you wash your hands?" And they'd be like, "Yeah," and they're like, she's like, you lie, go back, wash your hands." She's like, "You're not gonna touch your deek and then touch the food." She had such a potty mouth that even her parrot knew nothing but like vulgar language. Grandma's favorite thing to collect is angels, pigs, piggy banks, and I'm not even joking when I say wall to wall. Wow, that's a wall to wall highlighter right there. She would have like wall to wall angels and pigs in her room, and I mean from like the top to the bottom. And she's had that as long as I can remember. Gosh dang, Lux B, that is some highlighter, okay? That is some highlighter right there. Pulling out the red. This is about the shade grandma would wear, maybe even some brighter ones sometimes, but this is Caliente by Gothic Hippies. So this is like a velvet. Oh my gosh, it's so good. But grandma was always such a hard-working woman, you guys. Like always cleaning, always working on the garden, always doing something, cooking, just non-stop. Grandma was truly herself, and I truly, truly respect that, and I feel like everyone needs to be more like themselves, you know. Maybe she needed a little bit of a filter, but she just thought everything was funny, so. She is loved, she is fierce, she's an empowering Hungarian goddess. And her name is Nagy. Love you forever and always, Grandma.
You all love me. That's the truth. I'm alive.